Hello, Rebooters. Today is day 50. And if you've been following my posts on the Reboot with Joe website, you'll know that a few days after my last video, shortly after my 45-day video, I decided that I was going to end juice only at day 50 instead of going to day 60. So that would make today my last day of juice only. So, that's exciting. It's a little bittersweet. I really wanted to go to 60 days, but I had never committed. I was kind of just taking it as it comes and just seeing how long I could go. And there were several factors involved for why I decided to stop at 50 days. I think that actually the biggest reason that I decided to stop at 50 days was that I found a plan that I wanted to do after juice only as far as eating. For the longest time during my juice fast, I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do at the end. I don't know how I'm going to keep the weight off. I'm not really sure what to do. And I was doing some research and I was watching videos online, and I decided to do the McDougall starch solution plan. I've had, a few people that have warned me about it. It seems like it's a really good plan, and it seems like there's a lot of success stories. There are some concerns, like one of them is not having vitamin B12, so I do have a B12 supplement. And there are some people that have posted things online about how they did badly on the diet, but there's a lot of people that have done really well on the diet. So I figure, and he addresses, Dr. McDougall addresses a lot of those in his newest book, The Starch Solution, from a few years ago. It seems like that's the most up-to-date book. The older books have a little bit more out-of-date information, so they're more apt to be criticized than the newer one. So I just figure I'm going to try it and see if it works for me to continue to lose weight. I figure that now that I've rebooted my system, I'll be able to tell pretty quickly whether the plan is going to work for me or not. I'm hoping that, I know that I honestly am really scared about starting to gain weight back because I've never been very good at maintaining my weight. I need to keep vigilant and keep checking my weight on the scale every so often to see how I'm doing. I'm hoping that the plan will work for me to continue to lose. I know that when I initially add food back in, I am probably going to gain a few pounds just because of the way the body works, because now my digestive tract is pretty empty. So just filling it up with, food, it's going to be moving through my body, but still I'm going to have, more in there than is normally in there now. And also your body's glycogen stores, I guess, get filled up, and then you have a little bit of weight from that too. So I'm expecting to gain a couple pounds, but I'm hoping that shortly thereafter I will continue to lose. So I've actually done some shopping, and I have some food in the house for to try the plan out and see how it goes. And I will try to make another video in a week or two and let you guys know how I'm doing. Hoping that will keep me accountable. I'm going to try not to cheat. I am going to, like I said, some events. I have a bridal shower coming up and a wedding, and I'm going to try to, stick to plant-based at least. I might have a little bit more, fat than I want to, at those occasions or something like that, but I'm going to still try to stick to plant-based. So that's why, that was the biggest reason why I decided to stop at day 50, because I had a plan in place, and it took me a really long time to get a plan in place. And once I had that plan, I was anxious, it's okay, well now I know what I want to do, so let's do it. And another factor was that I was just getting a lot more irritable, and my husband and child were feeling the effects of it, because I think around day 40, I just started getting really antsy, and edgy and irritable, and I had enough. The first 30 days, while it was hard with the detox, I still had a lot of enthusiasm, and I was seeing these great results, which I still am seeing good results. But the first 30 days, I think that I was happier about what I was doing. And then I think around day 40, I was okay, I'm starting to get tired of this now. So I think if I do a juice reboot in the future, I might just shoot for 30 days and just see how that goes, because I seemed to, still be handling it a little bit better. Also, another backstory here is that people that have been watching me for a while do know that my mother passed away in June, and there's several of us that live in the same building in different apartments, so we're kind of like a close family unit. And my mother used to cook for all of us in the family, my aunt, my husband and daughter, and myself, and of course my dad. She used to cook once a week, and we would eat together as a family. And when my mother died, I've been trying to like be a little bit more of, the lady of the house, and like try to cook for everyone and try to keep like the family together. And so I still am, and I've been cooking like the entire time, and like at least once a week, and I try to invite everyone, if not twice a week. But I haven't been cooking as much for my husband and my daughter like every day as I really should be. So like I've noticed that like when I cook for the whole family, those days I tend to get really irritable because I'm making this food for everyone else and I can't have any. And like if there's leftovers, or if I feel like my husband or my daughter didn't eat enough, I find myself like pressuring them, like, why aren't you eating? Like, because I want to eat so badly, and I don't understand why they're not, and not eating as much. And I feel like I worked so hard to make this food for you. So I was, so there was that. And also my daughter, she's only 3, and for some reason I didn't notice it as much the first 30 days, but after 30 days I started to notice, I guess like after 40 days, I started to notice that she wasn't eating as much. And like it's always been a funny tradition that she and I have, that I will sit down at the table with her and we will eat together, but she will always want to eat off of my plate. Even if I put the exact same thing on her plate that I put on mine, she always wants to eat off of my plate. So some reason I've been noticing after around 30 to 40 days, I started noticing that she wasn't eating as much. And when she was eating more junk food, because we are kind of in a slightly divided house for nutrition. I've always been a little bit more health conscious, but I eat larger portions. Now my husband eats smaller portions, but he eats more junk food. So she's been eating more like the junk food that her daddy wants and stuff, because I haven't been cooking as much healthy stuff. So just all those factors put together, the irritability, the trying to cook for my family, and the fact that I felt like my daughter needed me to eat with her to make healthier choices and to eat like more good quality foods, all led me to stop at 50 days instead of 60. And 60 days brought me up to December 24th. And I just thought that was just too close to like all the stuff that was going around over the vacation and, over that period of time. So I just decided for 50, and 50 is a nice round number. So that's today. So that's exciting. And I did my weighing and my measuring. I would have been on track to almost lose 50 pounds if I had kept going to day 60. But again, I'm going to shoot for losing 50, hitting that 50-pound loss mark on my own. I am down in 50 days. I am down 43 pounds. So I lost another 7 pounds in the last 10 days from day 40 to day 50. And I actually lost, it's amazing, I actually lost a lot of inches in the last 10 days. I lost 7 inches. So it's actually my inches lost over the last like 2 or 3 times I've weighed and measured have actually gone up. The inches lost have increased over the last 2 or 3 measuring times. I went from, hold on, I have everything written down here. Yeah, the last 10 days I only lost 4.5 inches, and this past 10 days I lost 7. So that's pretty amazing, actually. I lost 7 pounds and 7 inches in the last 10 days. And I did my total measurements, and I'm down a total of 35.5 inches from my neck, arms, waist, chest, hips, and thighs. So the total that I lost over the 50 days, the total inches broke down to 1.5 inches from my neck, which I didn't even think was possible. I mean, I knew my face would get thinner, but I didn't realize that there was 1.5 inches to be lost around my neck. 1.5 inches from my neck, 2.25 inches from my left arm, and only 1.5 inches from my right arm. 6.5 inches from my waist, 6.5 inches from my chest, 6.75 inches from my hips and butt, 5.5 inches from my left thigh, and 5 inches from my right thigh, for a total of 35.5 inches. So I am beyond thrilled. I mean, I just watched a video of myself. My daughter likes to watch videos of her playing. I watched a video of me playing with her from back in October, and I can hardly believe how different I looked. And it was only in October, and it's only December now. So, I mean, I started juice only, I think, the last full week of October. So I went the last full week of October all the way through the month of November, and now here about halfway through the month of December. So, you know, it's really not, saying only 50 days is not, you know, it's 50 days is a good accomplishment, and I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of the fact that I lost 43 pounds. You know, if I would have kept going to day 60, I probably would have got close to hitting 50 pounds lost. But you know what? I'm going to shoot for that, you know, with this new eating plan and see what happens. I have a couple little observations that I wanted to pass along since I'm at the last day of my juice only. First, it is very hard to measure your own upper arms. I've taken measurements first. For the first 30 days, it was every week. I was taking measurements, and then it was every 10 days thereafter. So that was like 6 times probably that I took measurements. And every time I took my upper arm measurements, it was so hard. I mean, just because you have the flexible tape measure and you're trying to like wrap it around your upper arm with one hand because you can't use your other hand. I just thought I'd pass that along. Upper arm measurements were very difficult, and it was just, I thought it looked funny doing it, so I thought I'd share that with you. But yes, I am extremely grateful for this juice fast and for the jump start that it has given me. Especially when I saw that video of me playing with my daughter in October. I mean, there's some videos of me back in July that were pretty bad too. But the video of me playing in October, that just struck me because it was so close to the time that it is now. I still have a long way to go. I didn't really want to share my weight with you guys, but I thought about it. I'm not going to give exact figures, but I'm excited because I've actually dropped down 5 decades in weight on the scale. So I started in the low, unfortunately, the low 280s, and I am now in the high 230s. So that is not good. So you can see why I say that I still have a long way to go. And when I was the most happy with my weight as an adult, I was around 175, which is still in the overweight range. It's not in the obese range for my height. My height is about 5'6". And that is, you know, still 175 pounds is still in the overweight bracket. I think I would have to get down into like the 150s to finally get out of the overweight bracket on the weight charts. But that is where I felt the best as an adult. So that's what I'm shooting for. And I know those numbers seem like, I don't know, it's amazing to me that I am in the high 230s and I am fitting into the size clothing that I'm fitting in. It just shows that, I mean, I should be in larger sizes with that weight. It just shows that I'm very muscular, and I do hold a lot of my weight very densely packed. I always have my whole life. It's kind of funny because my daughter is built the same way. And she's not my birth child. So, so it's just amusing that, you know, that is a similarity that we have in common. We're both very muscular and we weigh more than we look like we weigh. So I've always been very uncomfortable about sharing my weight, but I figured, well, it's at the end of a 50-day. I'll just, you know, give you a range there. And so I still have a long way to go. But I can't, and I am kind of nervous about the transition, but I can't juice forever. So I decided that I needed to stop at some point. So I would stop juicing only now and try to see how I can do my plan in the real world. And if it doesn't work, or if I need a boost to get back on track, I can do another reboot. But I am not going to, you know, use it as an excuse to just eat whatever I want because I can just reboot the weight off, because I don't want to get in that cycle. I mean, I'm sure I will at some point, you know, like with vacations and things like that, but just in everyday life, I would like to learn how to better maintain my weight. And I told you about my eating plan. I have a few things written down. I wanted to tell you the story about my size 16W jeans. See, that's another thing. It boggles me that my weight is in the high 230s and I fit into size 16W jeans. I actually have been wearing them. I know in my last video, like 5 days ago, I told you that they came and they pulled all the way up, but they did not button. But the other day, we had a big gathering here at the house, for my daughter to celebrate her adoption day. And there were gifts and everything, and there was family coming, and I just I stood in the closet trying to get ready, and I knew what shirt I wanted to wear. I stood in the closet trying to get ready, and I'm looking at these sad, pitiful size 20W jeans that are too baggy for me, and they're the only two pairs that fit me. And I was like, am I gonna have to be at this like family function, with these baggy, saggy jeans that don't really look good on me? So then I thought, okay, I'm gonna slip on the 16s again and just try them and see. It was so in that 5-day span, I was able to pull them up and button them. I didn't have to lay down. I could just pull them up and button them and zip them and standing up. Now, I did have a muffin top, unfortunately. So it wasn't like at the baggy jeans, I don't have the muffin top issue because the waist isn't quite as snug. But since this waist is a little snug, I had a little bit of a muffin top. So what I did was I layered another like piece of clothing over the top of my shirt that I wanted to wear because the shirt was a more fitted shirt. And I didn't like the fact that you could see that little muffin top, from the jeans. So I layered like a long, like black vest over it. Which I love to wear my black vests. But so that was how I solved that problem. So I'm excited. But still, just even this morning, none of the 18s in my closet fit me. None of the 18 pants. Now, I did figure out why it might have been. I didn't realize this. I looked at all of them, and they are all size 18 regulars. They are not 18Ws. So maybe that's it. Maybe there's something about the W cut. But I know that when I was at this weight in the past, I remember when I was in the 230s before, just a few years ago, and I was wearing those 18 jeans. So I do not know what happened. I don't know why I'm not fitting in them now. I even have some size 18 black dress pants in there. None of them fit me. There's some of them come close, but none of them fit. So I went from 5 pairs of size 20 pants to 1 pair of size 16W pants that fit me. So I've dropped, according to that, in that brand, I had some size 20Ws. So I went in that particular brand from a 20 to a 16W. So that's exciting in only 50 days. And I also have taken, along this way, I have taken full body shots, it's like from my head to almost my knees. I've taken shots along the way. I took them at day 1, around day 1. I think it was more like day 2 or day 3. Around day 1 and then on day 30, and I also took them again today on day 50. And I've been a little shy about posting them. I don't know why. There's just a part of me that looks at them and goes, ugh. But you can kind of tell on those pictures that I do carry my weight very, densely. It's, when I look at the pictures, the last picture in particular that I just took this morning, I don't think that I look like I'm in the 230s. But I didn't see that much of a difference between day 1 and day 30. So I think that was the reason why I was a little hard pressed to post them, but I do see a definite difference between day 1 and day 50. So I might post them. I am a little shy about it because it's like my whole body, here it is. Of course I'm wearing clothes. I couldn't do the underwear picture or the skin tight gym workout clothes picture. I just couldn't post one of those on the internet. So I'm just in my regular clothes, like jeans and a shirt. But I've just been shy about posting them. But I might do it today, just in case it helps other people. And yeah, I can't tell you enough how grateful I am for all the support. It's when you're doing juice only, I really understand why there is a community at Reboot with Joe, because when you're doing juice only, it's hard and you need that. You need the daily reinforcement. You need the experiences from other people that have done it. You need people to be like, well, why don't you try this if this isn't working? I don't think I would have made it as far as I did if somebody didn't, tell me repeatedly to do coconut water. Coconut water, and I'd started drinking some every morning. I wasn't drinking a lot, but that really helped me. I was starting to feel really fatigued by around 2 weeks in, and the coconut water every morning really helps me. It helped me have the energy to continue, not feel so tired, not feel so run down. So you have the community to help you with those things, and you're constantly, when I watched so many documentaries over the last 50 days, I've listened to so many episodes of Juicing Radio, and you need that input every day to like keep you going, because it's not an easy thing when you're surrounded by food. So you need to constantly remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing. And it kind of like the last 50 days has been an educational experience for me. I've learned so much. I thought that I already was a fairly healthy and health-minded person. And I think that I am, maybe more than just the average American on the street. Like, I haven't eaten dairy products from cows most of my life, and like people would say, oh, how do you get your calcium? And I would be able to tell them, well, there's other ways to get calcium. So I think the average person on the street probably doesn't realize that. So I probably have like a little bit more health knowledge than the average person, but I've learned so much more in the last 50 days than I even thought I could learn in like such a short period of time. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm grateful for all the support and the posts, and sometimes people would recommend things to me that I would look into and decide, well, this is not for me, and then sometimes people would recommend things and I would decide, oh, this does sound interesting, but that's okay. I think we need that. We need to, with changing our health, we need to be informed of all the options and look into all the options and figure out what's best for us. And I'm looking forward to trying this new eating plan and letting you guys know how it goes. Let me see. But I got to be honest, I am scared of gaining the weight back. I know that, like I said, I know that I'm going to gain some weight, probably just a couple pounds, maybe, hopefully not more than 5. I don't know, just from putting food back in my system, even if it is healthy, lower calorie, vegan food. I know I will, and I hope I don't freak out. And think, oh, this isn't working for me. So that is like my biggest fear. So, if I can, gain a couple pounds back, but then start losing again, I will be beyond thrilled. Because like I said, this is not something that I've done very well in the past, but the fact that I'm going from the juice to another plan, I think is important for me. I think if I was just like unleashed and I could just eat whatever I was, thinking about, I would probably gain more weight back, before I found a balance. But I think because I'm going from one plan to another, it's really helping me. I'm the type of person that does need to have some sort of structure, or I will just gain. It's like my body is very good at gaining weight, and I always have been, especially, when I'm stressed, which, I have a busy schedule. So anyway, I guess that's about it for now. I will try to post another video, like I said, a week or 2 into my eating plan, because I know that people always want to know, how does it go after the fast? I hope that doesn't offend anyone, because I will probably be talking about food, and sometimes when people are on a juicing website, they don't want to hear people talk about food, so I will probably have to put a little disclaimer there that I'm going to be talking about what I've been eating and how it's been working for me. But I will do that, I promise, and I think that will help hold me accountable as well. I'm not sure if it'll be exactly a week. It might be like between a week and 2 weeks, but I will come back and post something about how it's going for me. And congratulations to all of you other rebooters that are doing so well, and I look forward to continuing to interact with you guys on the forums and hopefully in the new year. And like I said, I may decide to do another modified reboot in the future. It depends on how this new eating plan works for me. So, again, thank you all for your support, and everyone that has been posting. It's just so inspiring to see everybody's efforts. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we slip up and have to get back onto a reboot, but that's just life, and it's good to see other people trying, and like, if you don't give up, you're going to get there eventually. The only way that we're not going to get to our goals is if we give up. So we need to keep encouraging one another to keep going. And I will look forward to talking to you guys later. And thank you so much again, everyone. And I will sign off for now on my day 50. Juice on, everyone.